Welcome to my tanning session. Yes, that's right. I'm outside, shirt off, making a video. So once you've gotten past that, you want to actually listen to what I've got to say, then terrific. If not, just leave a comment now and get off the video. But everyone else who actually wants to learn something, that's great. What I'm going to show you now is my take on the deadlift. How many right ways are there to do the deadlift? Well, one. How many different ways are there to explain it? Probably a lot. I've listened to a lot of different people explain how to do the deadlift, and I've of course taken my own directions away from that on how to teach people how to do it. Rule number one is don't try and lift too much. Rule number two is get your technique right from the get-go. So hopefully you can see me quite well from there. First of all, as everyone else has explained, feet are to be shoulder width apart, toes are to be pointing forward. I know the camera's on the side there, but you all know how to put your feet to the front and make sure they're shoulder width apart. Yep, next thing I commonly tell people to do is bring the bar in towards the shins so that it's nice and close to your shins to begin with. Grip doesn't really matter. I like to do the alternative grip, so that's one over, one under, and I also mix it up. It doesn't really matter which way your hands go. One of the most important things to do once you grip, the next thing I do is activate my back. At this exact moment here, the first thing I do is switch my back on. How do I do that? Before I lift the bar up, the first thing I do is I pinch my shoulder blades together before I lift up the bar. So at this point my back's switched on before I pick the bar up. So my back's switched on from that moment. From here, the way I like to explain this is when you pick the bar up, your head's up, your back's switched on, and as you come up, you should feel it through your hamstrings. Now that's done very slow. It's important to note that when you do bring the bar up, you're actually going to bring it up about 4 or 5 times faster than that. I'll just show the upward motion again. Let's just focus on the upward. Back switched on, so on the upward, you want to come up nice and quick. So you take the weight, you really want to switch your butt on, push your bum out. You want to think that you can put a pencil in between your butt cheeks at all times when you're doing a deadlift. The entire time, you should be able to hold it there. All the way down, all the way up. So, we've gone through the upward motion. Shoulders switched on, load the hamstrings, push. The next thing, on the way down. So on the way down, again, let the bar hang naturally. My shoulders are still switched on, come down, stay close to the knees, follow the shins. I want to feel that hamstring loading up on the way down. Nice, slow and controlled. So that's the eccentric movement or the downward motion. Now the eccentric, you want to go a lot slower. On the way down, you push the bum out, really feeling that pulling the hamstrings, shoulders switched on, lowering the bar down nice and steady all the way down. Again, on the way up, keep watching. So on the way up, what I like, my personal little take on this as well, another hot tip, is once I reach the knees, that's when I really push the knees, that's when I really push the bum forward and lock it through. So I bring the bar up fairly quick to the knees, and once I hit that position there, I really push the ass forward and I really activate my glutes at that point. I'll show you that. So I bring it up, and I get to about there, and then I drive. On the way down, nice, slow and controlled. Shoulders are still activated. I'm pushing my ass to the rear. I can really feel those hips. The hamstrings engaging on the way down. On the way up, shoulders activated. Up fairly quick, snap. Down, nice, slow, bar hangs naturally, ass to the rear. Touch, up, snap. down, nice and slow, punch, up, snap, etc. Once you feel your form start to get bad, you stop. Mirrors are very good for this activity if you're not sure. If you don't have a mirror, record yourself doing it. And you go back and you watch yourself between sets. If you don't have a trainer, show a friend. Or be your own worst enemy. Pick up on your own mistakes. Don't convince yourself you're doing it right if you're not. Another hot tip, breathing. So, on the way up, I hold my breath. I activate my core, it's part of my trunk. Okay? So you hold your breath from the moment you pick the bar up. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. Breathe. Breathe naturally all the way down to the bottom. Get to the bottom. Breathe in, hold, up, snap, breathe out. Breathe naturally on the way down, breathe in, hold, snap. Don't forget your breathing. Breathing is very important. That's a really 101 rudimentary look at the deadlift. I'll go over some common mistakes now. Leave a comment, tell me I did it wrong, that's great, but in all seriousness, that's just a beginner's guide on how I explain to people on how to do the deadlift. I hope you got something from it. If you didn't, that's great. I'm going to go through some mistakes now that I pick up on people a lot. First thing, I don't know how well I can do this mistake, but I'm going to try. First thing people do when they pick the bar up, they round their back. So on the way up, the bar's too heavy. Oh, this feels really uncomfortable. On the way up, they'll round their back like so, and they'll just pick the bar up like this. They'll have their shoulders forward, like that. They still do the legs correctly. They still squeeze the butt forward, but the shoulders are rolled forward like this because the bar's too heavy, or they're not switching on their back foot. There's a few different reasons why. But it looks a little bit like that. It's one of the most common mistakes I see. Second most common mistake I see, arms not in the right position. People holding it too wide apart or too close together, so they don't have enough control over it if they're holding the bar too close together. Alternatively, if you're holding your hands too wide apart, you've actually got to get down too far at the bottom. So you're actually forcing your range of motion further. You don't want to get down too far. It's not the point. You only want to get down to about this position here, which is why you want to be thinking about this position. You want to keep everything nice and symmetrical, in line, not at an exaggerated area up there, which will cause extra stress on your joints as well. Have everything nice and square and in line, symmetrical. They're the two most common mistakes. The next one as well, I nearly forgot about this one. This one, forgive me. Is when they pick the bar up. Can't do this one very well, but they pick the bar up too far away from their shins. So, I don't even think I can replicate this properly. So, when they pick the bar up, they start out, that's very uncomfortable to do. They start out way out there, and then they come in towards their knees, and they do the rest of the motion properly. They've still got their back switched on, they still do it correctly from the knees up, however, from the knees down, they tend to lean towards and away from their feet. And then they come in on a weird angle like that. It's very awkward to watch someone do that, but a lot of people will do that as well. They're three of the most common mistakes I've seen as a trainer and that I've corrected people on. I'm sure there's a lot more out there that exist, and I'm sure people are probably going to comment on this video, a lot of other ones as well. Feel free to leave a comment on this, let me know what you thought. I hope everyone's enjoying their day wherever they are. I'm in Sydney, Australia, and it's winter and it's about 25 degrees. It's fantastic.